Howdy Uni 101 instructors, this is Cal Moffat, the librarian for Uni 101. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the library instruction sequence entitled Information Ecosystems. Let's get going. Alright, before we get to the features of the sequence, let me introduce you to the learning objectives. One, students will develop an understanding of how college-level research differs from what they may have experienced before. Number two, students will develop a familiarity with the library's physical and virtual spaces, which should minimize library and research anxiety, which does affect a lot of students. Number three, students will develop a sense of how information is created, disseminated, and organized. So under this is peer review, scholarly versus non-scholarly, fundamentals of LC classification databases, etc. Fourth, students will develop a foundational sense of the social nature and ethical use of information. So this addresses plagiarism, of course. And then five, students will learn a simple heuristic process to evaluate information. So to start off with, we're going to look at quality of information. Alright, so features of the sequence. It's designed for 2 face-to-face sessions, but now that we have longer sessions, we can get it into one session. That's an awful lot to absorb for students, though. So it's designed to be flexible that way. It uses flipped instruction model. For those who aren't familiar with the concept of this, students will have several short videos to watch before coming to the face-to-face session, and that will make the face-to-face sessions more practical, more active learning oriented. And materials will be available in research guides, and I will give you the link to that. Actually, now it's in one guide. And it's designed to address several major concerns that incoming students have with information and research. And this is based on a lot of research in information literacy. It tries to get at the concept of context. Students come in by and large now, and research is Google, Wikipedia, what they can find, and this tries to expand that concept so they'll understand why do their professors want them to use peer-reviewed information, and why is it important to evaluate sources. Alright, secondly, it's designed to give students a conceptual framework to aid with transference of learning, right? So being able to take these skills or ideas they learn in one course, take it to another, and then hopefully also be able to take it out to their everyday lives. It uses the overarching analogy of an ecosystem, and governing analogies have been shown to be pretty effective in communicating complex information. Incorporates pre- and post quizzes for assessment. And that assessment is primarily for us in the library, but it is recommended that you make it a small, low-stakes assignment for your students. It also includes formative assessment, the check-in pieces, those small assessment activities that we do in the midst of teaching. And it's designed with the AACU Information Literacy Value Rubric and the ACRL, which stands for Association of College and Research Libraries, designed with their framework for information literacy for higher education in mind. For those of you who have done the sequence previously, I've worked with a couple of you, couple of tweaks to the sequence. I've put both sessions in one research guide now, so there will be fewer links that you have to share with your students. So hopefully that'll clear up some confusion. I've chunked the materials a little bit more effectively, I hope, by using subpages, and that reduces the vertical scrolling. So now it uses the subpages, so it moves kind of like a slideshow, I guess. Hopefully that'll be a little easier, but the chunks are smaller and easier to manage for students, I hope. Flipped components are designed for about 30 to 35 minutes of outside classwork. to help you kind of visualize this, the viewing time for the session 1 videos is 28 minutes 17 seconds. The viewing time for the session 2 videos is 21 minutes 50 seconds. So tried to keep it so those components are really short and compact.